welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's video is going to be a review of some of my absolute favourite perfumes. I thought this would be quite a nice idea as we are in the festive season, if you were looking to treat yourself, or if you're just looking into the new year about maybe what sort of fragrances you might want to try. So all of these perfumes are sort of like mid-price point. There's nothing really high-end here, but it's also not like body sprays and things. It is actual perfumes. So I'm going to divide them into categories and let's get into the video. So the first category is what I want to describe as yummy perfumes, ones that make you smell delicious, ones that, you know, just make you just feel warm and fuzzy inside. So we'll start off strong. This is from the brand Kayali and it is in the scent Vanilla 28. Now, if you are looking for really yummy, delicious fragrances, this brand is probably a good go-to anyway because they have such beautiful, scrumptious fragrances. So I've got another couple here, only minis, but I do love them. So the other ones that I've tried are this one, which is called Pistachio Yum, and again that is just gorgeous and nutty and sweet. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk through the fragrances, I'm going to talk through what they smell like, I'm going to talk through what the notes are in the perfumes, like the top notes, middle notes and base notes. I'm going to talk about price point and things like that as well. So Kayali Vanilla 28. I hunted this down. It is readily available at the time of filming this video in December, but I really had to hunt for it because at the time I was looking for it, it was pretty much sold out everywhere, and for good reason. So it's this beautiful bottle, it's nearly finished, so this is definitely on my Christmas wish list for a new bottle. Okay, this is quite a complex vanilla. If you like a vanilla fragrance but you just don't want kind of like your average kind of generic vanilla fragrance, you want something a little bit more complicated and intense, this one is really nice. Kayali do lots of like vanilla based fragrances and all of them are beautiful, but it really depends on what you like, and I feel like this is a more grown-up vanilla, so you have definitely got that sweetness to it. Top notes are vanilla, orchid and jasmine, and I think that's one of the reasons I love this fragrance, is because the jasmine does come through, and I'll come on to jasmine perfumes later on in the video. But the middle notes are brown sugar and tonka bean, so that's where you get that caramelly kind of deep sticky toffee almost scent with the fragrance. And then the base notes are amber, amberwood, musk and patchouli, and that's where that sort of floral complexity comes in, that deepness, that woodiness. So all of that together just gives a very, as I say, like complex vanilla fragrance. It's really beautiful. I have this on today, so I'm quite happy to spritz this. Absolutely stunning. The only thing I'd say with these ones is they last really well when you spray them on clothing. When you spray them on yourself, I do find that I need to retop this up after a few hours. Fragrance lasts a different amount of time depending on the individual. So what one person, you may be able to smell fragrance on them for hours and hours, another person within an hour or so it's gone. It really just depends on like your skin hydration, how your body reacts to the perfume and things like that. But this one, as I say, is not super long lasting on me, on my skin, but on clothing I can still smell it like the day after that, so it has really good longevity in that sense. So if you're someone that spritzes perfume on like clothing and things, then this is really great for that. The other thing with this perfume is the price point. The price point is really good, I think. So if you go for the 100ml, I've just got the current prices up here, it's £98, £28 for the very small like miniature size, and then the 50ml, which is this one, is currently £73, but you can usually get a 20% off code if you buy off ASOS, if you buy off Look Fantastic and places like that. I'll link down in the description box all of the perfumes that I speak about and any discount codes I can find for you as well. So that's number one in our yummy fragrances. I also think it's very important with fragrance, before we move on to the next one, to layer. That really is something that will keep your fragrance just lasting long, make you smell delicious and enhance any perfume that you buy. So I think it all starts with shower gel, then body moisturizer, then fragrance, then body mist if you really want that cloud or fragrance around you. So I can obviously talk about that a bit more if that's something that you are interested in, like the layering process, but essentially that's what I would go with. I would go with like a shower gel that has like vanilla notes to it or caramel notes to it, a body lotion, then your perfume, and then I would spritz over a high quality body spritz, something like Sol de Janeiro, for example. In this instant, number 72 is a really good one to complement that Kayali fragrance. So yeah, just for layering purposes, obviously I'm talking through perfumes in this video, but layering is going to enhance any fragrance that you have. Next up on the vanilla scrummy journey is this one. This is the Laura Mercier Ombre Vanille Eau de Parfum, and this comes with a body lotion in the same scent, which is really nice. If you want to layer, then that would be a really good idea, because once you put that lotion on, get that on your body, spray that perfume on while the body lotion is on there, and that will sink and enhance the fragrance, because this is a very light fragrance and it is more of what I would consider a generic vanilla fragrance. It hasn't got the complexity that the Kayali fragrance has. So predominantly with this fragrance, just smelling it now, it is vanilla. It's in your face vanilla. It doesn't smell cheap, it doesn't smell chemically or anything like that, which you can sometimes get with vanilla fragrances, but it doesn't have that deeper complexity that the Kayali does. So this one is described as fresh floral notes of tangerine, tiger orchid and heliotrope, and enhanced by almond, brown sugar, coconut and musky sandalwood. I think that sounds quite complicated, but to me this smells like just vanilla. So, but I do love it because it's so subtle, it's very fresh, it just feels nice for everyday wear. The price point on this one is £105 for 100ml. So again, similar to the Kayali fragrance. However, you can get this in gift sets. I got mine in a gift set for Christmas in the January sales, and it came with the body lotion. So I definitely think that you can get this for a better price than the one I've just quoted, but that's the price online at the moment. I also love from this range, and I think this actually smells better than the perfume, it's the body oil version of the perfume. It's absolutely stunning. I love a few drops of this in the bath or just to massage my body with it after a bath. It's absolutely stunning. And what comes through more in this than in the actual perfume itself is those more musky ambery notes. I think that the vanilla is there, but it definitely smells more complex than the perfume. So the two layered together is a match made in heaven, or of course the body lotion as well, which again smells absolutely divine. Just on that note, because I think that obviously I have touched on it, sort of body lotions that I would generally recommend are the ones that complement the perfumes themselves if you have got something in the same range, but it doesn't have to be that. So for example, if you have got like a vanilla fragrance, then something like this from Victoria's Secret is just a vanilla scented body lotion. It's relatively affordable. I think this is around £15 for the bottle, and again you can get it on offer, but it's got a really like lovely vanilla fragrance to it. Doesn't smell cheap, doesn't smell chemically, as I said before, like which you can sometimes get with vanilla. It's really gorgeous and it sinks so lovely into the skin. Good enough to eat. So yeah, that one again, coconut pairs very well with vanilla. So again, this one from Victoria's Secret in their coconut scent. There's also a honey one which is really nice in that range. And if you're going for like a real caramelly kind of, you know, waft of fragrance, then I would definitely recommend something that's a recent discovery for me, which is this. This is Lush Sticky Dates, and this just smells like sticky toffee pudding. I've got this on my skin today and I use it after showering and I can just still smell it on me. It's absolutely gorgeous and it's so hydrating. Yeah, I'd highly recommend this body lotion. Sorry, that was a little bit off track. And then this is the 71 Sol de Janeiro fragrance that I was talking about, and it's caramelized vanilla and macadamia nut. I prefer this to number 62 because this is a lot more, I think it's a lot more nutty and caramelly, whereas number 62 smells more like you're on holiday. So I definitely prefer this one, and I think this one is better for winter. So I think that will be enough for the moment for yummy sprays, but if you'd like me to go into more detail or show you more fragrances, do let me know. But in the interest of not making this video too long, let's move on to florals. I never used to really be a floral kind of girl, I suppose, when it came to fragrances until I smelt this. This is Gucci Flora and it is Gorgeous Jasmine. Look at that bottle. So this caught my eye in the airport because of the bottle. I love this colour, it's so beautiful. It's a really like almost old-fashioned but like decadent bottle. And it says on the back it's jasmine florals, magnolia and mandarin. This is the most stunning jasmine fragrance I think I've ever smelt, apart from Bulgari jasmine. I can't remember what it's called and I don't have it with me, so it really wouldn't be fair for me to talk about it, but it is on my Christmas list, so hopefully next year. It's predominantly jasmine. So what I would say is if you are looking for something that's more, I guess, more complex than just jasmine, this one may not be for you, because it's the predominant scent on this, even when it dries down, especially on me, is jasmine. I will look at the notes. So on this one, the notes are actually quite complicated. It says the top notes are Italian mandarin, bergamot and black pepper. Middle notes are jasmine, jasmine sambac, magnolia and damask rose. And the base notes are Australian sandalwood, benzoin and patchouli. Sorry if I've not pronounced any of those correctly. But those are the notes of the perfume. But as I said before, the main thing that comes through is the jasmine. So the middle notes are really, really strong in this. This has really great staying power, especially on clothes, again, like with the Kayali fragrance. But it also has good staying power on your skin, especially if you place it in warm parts. So behind your ears, in the crooks of your arm, behind your knees. I feel like it really has good staying power. Price point on this one is, on the Gucci website, £95 for 50ml. However, on the Boots website, it's £57 for 50ml. So one to definitely shop around for. The Sephora website has got it at £5 for 50ml. So that's Gucci Jasmine. Once I'd fallen in love with this, I wanted to see what else the Gucci Flora range had to offer. And then I smelt this on my sister, which is the Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. This one is, oh my gosh, I think I'm saying that about everything, but like predominantly this is like an ultimate floral to me. It's, you smell like you've rolled around in fresh flowers. That's what it smells like. The price point on this is the same as the jasmine, and they do have another one in the range now, which is magnolia, which I've also smelt, which is beautiful. That one is called Gucci Flora Gorgeous Magnolia, and that's relatively new. But this one, it says the top notes are pear blossom, red berries and Italian mandarin. So that seems to be quite a common, I suppose, denominator in some of the perfumes that I've got here, and also in these Gucci ones, the mandarin. And I think the mandarin just adds that like zestiness and sweetness to the fragrance. Middle notes are gardenia, jasmine and frangipane. I think that's what I can smell that I love. That frangipane fragrance is just so delectable and delicious. And then you've got base notes of brown sugar and patchouli. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's delicate, it's sweet, it's floral, it's got the staying power, very, very similar to the jasmine. And if you just want that beautiful florals, I don't think you can go wrong with these. And the bottles are just absolutely stunning. So yeah, that's the Gucci fragrances. I'd say you can wear florals all year round. They're not, you know, just for spring, but they are more of a spring summer fragrance in my sort of perfume wardrobe, I suppose. Okay, let's stay with florals for a second. The next one I'm going to show you is only a mini, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting this for Christmas. If I'm not getting this for Christmas, I am going to get it because I've wanted it for so long. It's the J'adore, but it's the J'adore L'Or. So J'adore has been around for such a long time, the fragrance, but this is the newer one. Oh my gosh. And I think it's the jasmine that I love in it. But the other thing with this fragrance is it is so long lasting. So I spritz this on myself in the airport. Every time I'm in Boots, I like spritz it on. I can still smell it in the evening, the next day if I haven't showered. It's so intense, but like not in an overpowering way, in a very delicate, feminine, elegant way. Main notes in this are white florals, violet and fresh. and then it describes it as basically an intense version of J'adore, which I would agree with. It's also more long lasting, and it kind of is J'adore amped up tenfold. Full and voluptuous perfume, and it's got notes of orange blossom, jasmine, rose. Yeah, I think it's the jasmine that I love in this, combined with like the orange blossom. Again, you've got that kind of zestiness to the fragrance, so it's absolutely beautiful. If you get a chance, have a smell of this one, which is J'adore L'Or, and have a smell of the J'adore, and just see the difference. This is more expensive, so that takes us on to the price point. So it is quite a lot more expensive than the original J'adore. So on the Dior website, it is £150 for 100ml, and I'm just having a look through on any other websites. Yeah, that seems to be the going rate for it at the moment. I have seen Boots do 15% off this at times, but generally, yeah, £150 for 100ml of this fragrance. So, but I do think that with this one you would need less fragrance than if you went for the original. And finally, this sort of takes us onto a different area of fragrance, but we've got this one. I've put this in with the florals, but I would also say it is a little bit yummy as well, because it's got such a lovely sweetness to it. This is the new Miss Dior. So it's the revamped, relaunched version of Miss Dior, and it has different notes to the original. So again, if you do get a chance, have a little smell of the both, because you may prefer the original. I didn't actually like the original that much. When I smelt this, I just had to have it. Like, I literally bought it instantly. I just had to have it. It was so unreal. I would say that this fragrance is one that you are going to notice it. If you walk into a room and you're wearing this fragrance, someone's going to ask you what that is you're wearing, or they're going to say you smell nice, because it's got that real strong, powerful edge to it. So although it's a floral sweet fragrance, it's got a real, again, complexity and intensity to it, which makes it different. The top notes are apricot, peach and mandarin orange. There's that mandarin again, it's that running theme. Middle notes are wild strawberry, floral notes and jasmine. Base notes are patchouli, amberwood, amber, moss and atlas cedar. So you can see that the perfume does have that real complexity in terms of the notes, and predominantly it is a sweet jasmine-y fragrance, I suppose, with that orange. You can definitely smell the orange, but yeah, it will smell differently on everyone. I'll put a little bit on myself now because it complements the vanilla fragrances quite well. I'll let that dry down and then I'll see how that smells. Okay, so that brings us on to one summer fragrance just before I move on to the headier, more evening, more wintry scents, I suppose. So I've just got one in my summer collection, although obviously you can wear any of these perfumes at any time, and it's this one. This is the Bronze Goddess NUIT. So Estee Lauder have done Bronze Goddess for I don't know how many years, and that in itself is a gorgeous summer fragrance. It's so light, but I absolutely love this one, and I think the reason is because it has tonka bean in it, and so you've got that sort of caramel vanilla scent coming through it, as well as the light summeriness, and it does smell like summer in a bottle. It's so beautiful. So it is described as a night fragrance, and I can definitely see why it's described as a night fragrance, because it does smell kind of like you're on holiday and you've got that heady sort of sunset and you're kind of wrapped around palm trees and florals and other perfumes. It's got that kind of, as I say, like headiness to it, but it also is so beautiful just to wear in the day because it's got that tropical kind of vibe to the fragrance. It's the only way I can describe it. I'll look at the notes and that'll describe it a lot better than I can, but I love this fragrance. They stopped doing it for a while, they've brought it back, thank goodness. So that's why I've only used about a third, because they discontinued it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to conserve this now, which I did. But yes, I may pick up another one now actually, just so I have one in reserve, because it's my absolute favorite summer fragrance of all time. So the Estee Lauder website currently has this on offer at £56 for 50ml. Look fantastic. It's £70 at 50ml. Sephora has this £56. So you can actually get it on offer at the moment, which is nice to know for myself actually as well. So in terms of the notes, it's described as a comforting fragrance, and yes it is. That's very, very well described. It says here it's a luminous amber floral fragrance that evokes the heat of the night. Sensual notes of bergamot essence, jasmine sambac, salted coconut, night blooming orchid. Base notes are dark tonka, cashmere woods, and then the top notes are the bergamot, pepper and lang lang. So when you initially spray this, you do get that like lang lang sort of essential oil fragrance, but then very, very quickly that transforms into this caramel, which is the salted coconut and the dark tonka. And then those notes that it describes there, so the jasmine and the orchid, that is also like layered within the fragrance. So it's another very complex fragrance, but a beautiful holiday fragrance as well. I really want to spray this now, and it's totally not the right time. Just going back to the Miss Dior, it's dried down, and I would say predominantly what I can smell is rose and mandarin. So, well, rose, mandarin and jasmine kind of mixed together, but actually dried down. I've noticed that the mandarin is actually quite dominant in this fragrance. Okay, let's move on to our sort of more musky, night, heady fragrances. Okay, let's start with one of my favourite fragrances, and also my husband's favourite fragrances. It's this one. It's YSL Libre. It's an absolutely stunning bottle with YSL wrapped around it. They use some beautiful gift sets of this on the website as well, and in Boots and places like that. You've got the gold trim on the bottle. So I've got the 50ml. I think my husband's got the 100ml. I mean, any fragrances really are unisex, aren't they? But you know, some you would say are more feminine than others, and I would say that this is definitely a unisex fragrance, because my husband is a I would say, like, you know, a very masculine man, but he loves this fragrance, and it smells on him absolutely divine. It smells better on him than it does on me, absolutely. And yeah, I definitely think that if any men watching this, or you're looking for a gift, it's a lovely gift for a man, or it smells lovely on a man. It must interact with their pheromones or hormones in some way. So the top notes are lavender, mandarin orange, blackcurrant and petitgrain. Actually, I didn't realise they used mandarin in so many fragrances until I've been filming this video. And then the middle notes, lavender, orange blossom, jasmine. Base notes, vanilla, musk, cedar, ambergris. It smells completely different to any of the fragrances that I've showed you so far. I mean, you can definitely smell the jasmine, but it honestly, it just smells complicated. I can't even describe it. Smell this if you haven't. Definitely smell this one, because you'll probably fall in love with it like I did. I wore this on a training course, and someone was like asking me, what on earth is that? What is that fragrance? I love it. And yeah, it was this beautiful fragrance. So this one, as I say, you can get it in gift sets and things. It's very, very popular. Look fantastic. I've got a 50ml of this at £72 at the moment. They've also got a 30ml of this for £50. I think that my husband got the 100ml from Boots because they were doing, I think they were doing 20% off. They do often do 20% off YSL, so have a look out for it. Again, I will link this one. Then we have an oldie but a goodie. It's another YSL fragrance. It's Black Opium. This has been around for donkey's years. They've revamped this a number of times, and they've done like a cherry version and things, but the original just always to me felt like the best. And it's just sexy. It's a sexy fragrance. If you've seen the advert for this on the television, they very much sort of lean into that side of the fragrance, and it really is. It's complicated fragrance. It's definitely, for me, would be a night fragrance. I don't think I would wear this in the day, because it is just so rich and so heady. I've had this for a long time, and it's still got about 2/3 full, and I think that's because I only wear it like on special occasions, special evenings, and because I don't do a lot of that, I don't really get through it, but it still smells just as it did on that first day. I do keep my perfumes in a cupboard, out of sight, out of light. They will then last a lot longer for you if they aren't subject to UV rays and things. if you popped this on, you went on like a date night or a date, or went out on a night out or something, and someone smelled this on you, I think they would like go wild. So it's beautiful, very, very sexy fragrance. So then, keeping in that vein, we have another favourite of mine, which is Kayali Herrera, Good Girl. It's got such a unique bottle design. When this first came out, I think this was quite sort of different for the time. I've only used, again, a small amount because it is a night fragrance. I don't think, again, I would wear this in the day, although it is more day wear appropriate than something like the Black Opium is, but it has such a lovely scent to it. Like, it just, again, is that sexy fragrance. Top notes are bergamot, lemon and almond, heart notes of jasmine, iris and tuberose, base notes of vanilla, sandalwood, coffee and tonka bean. And I think that the tonka bean makes it like sugary and caramelly and gorgeous. I think that's part of the reason why I was attracted to this fragrance, as you can probably tell from my other fragrances. But the jasmine is in there, which lightens it and makes it fresh and makes it just a pretty fragrance. But then you've got those complex notes which just deepen everything down and just make it heady and sexy, and that would be things like the sandalwood and the coffee. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Look fantastic. Have £75 currently for the 50ml, and the 80ml they've got at £98. So let's move on to the penultimate perfume for sort of, I'm calling these like my nighttime scents. This is Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. Now, I have included this in the video, but I just want to say that it used to be a favourite, but it's not one that I actually reach for a lot. So when I bought it and when I smell it now, I do love it, but it's not one that I really reach for, and I think it's because it's so strong. So if you like that really strong fragrance that makes an entrance and is very heady, again, it's like sexy, I think it's definitely a unisex fragrance, then this is lovely. It's different to the Black Orchid. I think they have others in the range. So the top notes on this one, it says, are rum, honey, mandarin orange and bergamot. So it must have been the orange that I probably liked in this. And then you've got middle notes of Black Orchid, Orchid and Jasmine, heliotrope, hyacinth, rose oil, narcissus, magnolia. Gosh, there's lots and lots of notes and complicated fragrance elements to this. Orange blossom, and then base notes of vanilla, myrrh, suede, sandalwood, Peru balsam and labdanum. Yeah, it smells kind of like a little bit oriental. It smells like you're in kind of like a garden of very complicated flowers. It's absolutely stunning. If you smell this, you think, wow. As I say, it's just so strong that I actually find it a little bit overpowering. So a little goes a very long way, but that may be one for you. But I can definitely see why I was attracted to it in the first place, because again, it has that jasmine, it has the orange in it, but it also has those much more masculine tones, which, like, you know, the suede, the sandalwood and things like that, which are probably something that I'm just not used to, which is maybe why I don't reach for it so often. Okay, let's move on to the final one. Now, this perfume is 9 years old and still smells as good as it did when I got it, and it is honestly a classic. It's Chanel Coco, and it is the eau de toilette as opposed to the eau de parfum. For some reason, I prefer the eau de toilette version of this than the eau de parfum. This perfume I got from my husband nearly 10 years ago. I'd wanted it for ages, and it is so gorgeous. And this one I do reach for, even in the day, especially in the winter time, in the day, like the Christmas period, obviously of an evening. I'll take it away like on any special occasion. I always want to wear this one, and I layer it with this, which I got last year or the year before, which is the body lotion version of it, which smells exactly the same as the fragrance, and the two together just make you smell like a Coco Chanel dream. This body lotion has such staying power. It's absolutely incredible. Obviously it's very pricey for a body lotion, but if it was like a gift, like an anniversary gift, Christmas gift, birthday gift, something like that, whatever gift, these two together are beautiful because it really does deepen the fragrance. Not that you really need it. Even the Eau de Toilette on its own is very long lasting, but not overpowering. So that's why I would reach for it, you know, because it's got that kind of wearability to it. And I love the bottle. It's classic, you know, chic Chanel design. It's very different to Coco Mademoiselle, which used to be my like favourite perfume from Chanel, that one and Chanel Gabrielle. But that Coco Mademoiselle is a lot sweeter. I'd say that smells similar to the Dior fragrance I showed you earlier. This one is quite different. It's a lot more grown up, even though I got it sort of 10 years ago, so I would have been, yeah, just 30. £122 for 100ml, so it's not, you know, for Chanel fragrance, I know it's Eau de Toilette as opposed to Eau de Parfum, but it's not ridiculous because we all know Chanel's prices have got a little bit outrageous. As here, it's an ambery floral fragrance with a floral spicy note, citrus note of mandarin, its heart of jasmine, heightened with lang lang, and a luxuriant yet light harmony that leaves behind a trail of scent tinged with Indonesian patchouli. Okay, so yeah, the jasmine is prominent, the mandarin is prominent, but the spiciness makes this different. It's different to anything I have, and the spiciness is what gives it that complexity and that sexiness and that just kind of like different feel to it. I love this so much. I love it so much. So yeah, this is the Chanel Coco, my absolute favourite of all the perfumes, probably, at least for an evening scent anyway. And I think because it has sentimental value, obviously fragrance can evoke such a sense of like memory. It can transport you somewhere. So often I find that your favourite fragrances will be sort of linked with generally a memory. Maybe that's just me. Let me know if that's the case for you as well. Yeah, that's everything, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this sort of delve into my favourite fragrances. Obviously, these aren't all my fragrances, but these are like my favourites, I suppose, and the ones that I wear regularly. So I thought it would be good to share those with you. If you have any questions about any of the products that I've talked about in the video, just leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. If you have made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so much. And if you have made it to the end, please let me know what your favourite fragrance is. If there's any of these fragrances that I've showed you today that you are looking to try, I love to hear from you in the comments. Have a lovely rest of your day, evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you again very soon in my next video. Bye bye.